Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. This is actually take two. The first one didn't go through, but all right, we're live. Welcome to the chat. We'll be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, answer your snowboard questions. I thought I would make this a special chat though, and discuss with you guys some of the new snowboards that I'm excited about checking out. And I know like snowboard season's approaching, so a lot of people are starting to look at the new boards, start to look at what's new and what's coming out this season. And I've been doing that quite a bit, looking at the new releases online. So I thought I would just go through a few different brands, see what people are looking at, and share with you guys some of the boards I'm kind of interested in. So a quick shout out to some of the people already in the chat. We got Jose Bautista. We got Bad Riders here, Roto Rooster. We got Justin Visey, I think, is in the chat. So yeah, shout out to everyone who's already on here. We got Dean, we got Kazoo MC. But Luke Hayes, yo, Luke, what's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just discuss some of the boards that are coming out. If you guys have any questions about boards too, hit me up. But yeah, let's go. So I'm on the Evo website. I'm going to snowboards. I'm going to go to selects. I'm thinking of starting out with let's check out some of the Capita boards. But on here is like kind of like a mix. Some of the boards on here are old and some are new. So all these ones in the outlet are the old ones. So you can scoop up a good deal. But yeah, some of the 2024 boards are on here. So let's check out a few of them. I might go through some of the boards that I've already ridden before, and then highlight some of the ones that I'm really excited about that are brand new. So yeah, actually let's start it with a brand new board. So a board that I'm kind of considering picking up is this one right here, the Capita Aeronaut. So this is Arthur Longo's Pro Model snowboard. It looks really cool. It's got really cool, some cool artwork on there by Arthur Longo. But I think this board is kind of made for like his style of riding. So if you guys have seen him ride, it's a lot of like resort, kind of mixed in with freestyle side hits, of course. And I think that this board is kind of geared towards that to really like maximize that. So it's a directional board. I think it has like a slight taper, like 0.5 centimeter. So we'll give you like some help floating in powder. But the directionality of this board, I think, makes it really good for like riding with speed around the resort, carving. I think it's a pretty camber dominant snowboard as well. So camber underneath your feet. I think the camber is like even stronger too towards the back foot, so giving you like a lot of that back foot pop. So if you're going for a side hit, I think it's designed to really give you a lot of back foot energy. But that more full camber, I think, gives you a lot of stability too, riding with speed, hitting jumps. And then I think it does kind of go to flat camber towards the tip, so it's not going to be overly aggressive. But yeah, pretty cool board by Capita, the Aeronaut. It's got a cool design. I like this artwork on here. I'm pretty sure that's Arthur Longo's artwork on there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool board. So that's what I'm considering. The one drawback of this board that I'm not like totally stoked on is that it doesn't come in any wide sizes. So I'm not sure why snowboard companies aren't going for some wide boards, because basically if your feet are over a size 10, you want to get that wide. So this board doesn't come in any wide sizes. So that might be one reason why I may not pick it up, because it doesn't come in a wide. But there's a pretty good range. Maybe the 161 for me might be wide enough, but that's one thing to consider is this board wide enough. But yeah, the softness, the flexibility, 6 out of 10, directional shape. It's got a progressive side cut. Yeah, just things like that make it so it's an intermediate to advanced all mountain board. Yeah, so it's got that camber to flat towards the tips. So yeah, pretty cool, kind of like directional all mountain board that you can kind of like, I think will be good for freestyle, but then will also give you some flow in the snow. All right, let's see what the chat saying. Anybody mentioning anything about this board? Bad Riders is saying Jose needs the Megadeth. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one by Capita as well. Is it super stiff? I'm not a hard charger. Yeah, the Megadeth may be super stiff. That might be too stiff and overly aggressively camber. All right, sweet. So yeah, that is the Capita Aeronaut. One I'm kind of like checking out. Let's go back and take a look at some of the other Capita boards on here. So I've gotten to ride a good amount of these boards. The Capita Super DOA, I rode this for a season in the park. Super fun, lightweight, twin snowboard, lots of energy like in the nose and tail. So if you're going for like an ollie or a nollie, it's going to give you lots of response. So a really good performing snowboard, giving you lots of energy, lightweight. So this was a really fun snowboard for me in the park. Like I just felt when I was going to do an ollie or hit a jump, like yeah, it helps you to really spring up all that energy out of the board. And then it's also like a bit stiffer too. So that stiffness giving you stability at speed, landings, all that kind of stuff. And the Super DOA does come in lots of wide sizes. So that's like a good thing to see. It does come in, I guess one drawback is it's pretty expensive. It's $1,000, but you got that mix of sizes. So if you've got that size 10 boot or over, you can get the wide, which is pretty cool. Let's go back and see which other, I have ridden the Capita Black Snowboard of Death. This one is pretty aggressive. Yeah, somebody in the chat was mentioning the Megadeth, but yeah, this one is like super aggressive. So the Black Snowboard of Death, yeah, lots of positive camber with some reverse camber towards the nose. So, I mean, it's kind of like, to be honest, I'm not really sure what this board is ideal for. Maybe like carving around the mountain. If you're like really into carving, the Black Snowboard of Death is a good one. Because, I mean, all that positive camber and powder does make it a little bit hard to keep the nose up. I think this one does have a taper as well. So it has like, it doesn't even really have a taper, like 2 millimeters. So 1 to 2 millimeter of taper. I mean, this is more of like a hard charging, like carving board. Yeah, and it's got a super long side cut radius. So good for making those like really big carving turns. But yeah, Capita has a bunch of cool, so the new Capita DOA, I really like this graphic. It's kind of like that black white with the cool artwork. Tons of sizes, and yeah, I mean, it's got that positive camber to 0. It's kind of like a stiff park board, but you can take it all mountain as well. No taper, so not going to be great in powder. What's another one by Capita that I've ridden and really liked? Yeah, I got the Navigator. Did I ride the Navigator? Some spring brake boards by Capita as well. Outer Space, Indoor Survival, Outsiders. So I really like the Capita Outsiders as well. Oh man, this is like a $4.99. This is the 2023 version. How much is the 2024? Is the 2024 on here? The Outsiders, because that was a really fun board as well. Really like the Outsiders. Maybe they don't have the 2024 one out yet. I don't think they do. So, there's the Ultra Fear as well. So the new Ultra Fear. But yeah, some super fun boards by Capita. Let's check out some boards by someone else. Let's go to brands, deselect Capita, and let's go over to some Burton boards. Let's see if the chat is saying anything about Capita boards. Oh, Kev, check out the Capita A Simulator. Yeah, that one's pretty cool too with the ASIM side cut radiuses. So the heel turn is going to be a bit more of a smaller side cut radius than the toe turn. So I like that for sure. Search of Snowboarding says, "What's up, Kev? I rode the black snowboard to death all year. Ripped it on groomers and on pow days for big lines. Awesome. Always recommend it. Always recommend it." Oh, very cool. Search for Snowboarding. Ripped it on groomers and on pow days for big lines. Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I remember about the black snowboard to death is that it kind of feels like you're riding like a stretch limousine. Like you just, I mean, the way it cruises, like on those like, yeah, long big lines, it feels super good. And gives you like tons of control. That's awesome that you did a whole season on it, man. Jose wants to know, where's everyone watching from? And Bad Rider's dropping that the mega death is 1,800 Australian dollars. Wow, that's a big one. Roto Rooster has been riding the Aviator, the Jones Aviator. Very cool. Yeah, Kyle says, "I like how Capita boards look, but as a 6'8", 250-pound guy, it's hard to find something that will work for me." Yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing for sure, is that the board is the right size. So yeah, that's the thing. There's some boards on here that I like that I can't ride as well just because they're just not the right size, either in terms of the length or width. Yeah, let's check out some Burton boards. I mean, there is one Burton board that I'm pretty stoked on here. So let's kind of like scroll through, check out some of the Burton ones. I know the Hometown Hero has been really popular in recent years. So yeah, this guy is pretty cool. Any friends that I've had that have ridden the Hometown Hero have really liked it. It's got, I think it's kind of like a free ride oriented snowboard. It's got the camber towards the tail, giving you like that stability and energy towards the back seat of the board. Some rocker up front to help it flow easier through the pow. I'm not sure what this means. Personality 5 to 8 on the flex, and then so medium stiffness, I guess. And how much of a taper does it have? So it has like, oh, it's got quite a bit. So it's got like 12 millimeters of taper. So it's going to help you to float and pow. So the Hometown Hero, yeah, that one's been pretty popular the last few years. One board that I'm kind of interested in checking out is, I think it's here somewhere. I think this one has a lot of hype too, the Burton Good Company. It's got like a good price too, $580 Canadian. It doesn't come in any wide sizes though, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, I think that this guy is kind of like a park focused board. It's got that traditional camber and soft, so maybe like a good kind of like jibbing board, the Good Company. But one I was trying to find to show you guys, let's see if I can find it on here. Oh, is this guy, the Burton Blossom. So I have had the chance to ride the Blossom. I haven't ridden it where it's supposed to be meant to be ridden in the park, but I have taken it on like a free ride day around Whistler. But this one is kind of like a more traditional style board. It's supposed to be kind of like a throwback board, twin, positive camber. But I really like this this graphic, this base graphic here. This is super cool. It looks like a really fun snowboard to ride. So I like that they put this really cool artwork on the base. Downside is that it doesn't come in any wide sizes, so that's definitely a bummer. But maybe I could fit into the 162. It is a little bit expensive at $799, but but yeah, the flex. Yeah, again, it says a 3 and a 6. That's a pretty big range. I think that this board is more like a mid-flex park board. So pretty positive camber. I think it does mellow out a bit towards the tips. It does, yeah. So positive camber with a bit of flat towards the tips. Medium stiffness, completely twin. So I think a really fun park board. I know some of their like top riders ride this board as well. I think Luke Winkleman rides the Blossom, and yeah, it just looks like a really fun park board. Really cool graphic. I'm kind of like considering picking this board up, but one thing I'm concerned about is that it might not be wide enough for me. So I got to make sure, take a look at some of the specs to make sure it's going to be wide enough. But yeah, this board looks like a lot of fun. I think I've heard too from people that ride it, it's got a lot of energy out of it, giving you lots of, when you're going for an ollie or a nollie, it's going to give you a lot of energy out of that nose or tail. So it could be a really fun park board. So Grant wants to know which shape is best for park. So definitely, I think twin. Oh, so also asking positive camber. I mean, it kind of depends. The more advanced you are in the park, the more you do want to go towards that more aggressive positive camber. It's going to give you more stability, more pop. But one thing that comes if it's like too much camber is that it could be more catchy as well. So that's where a bit of like flat towards the tips or the contact points, or even like reverse camber towards the contact points, then it's making it more forgiving, less catchy, especially for things like if you're getting into like boxes or rails. Having a board that's less catchy is going to be really good. But Bad Riders wants to know, what's the waist size on the 162? Yeah, let's check that out. So the waist size on the 162 is waist width, 258 millimeters. So it's fairly wide. I think my K2 After Black wide snowboard, I think it was like a 263. So it's not as, it's like half a centimeter less wide than my K2 wide board. So something to consider there, but yeah, some interesting boards by Burton. They also have some of these, where's the POW boards that have the grooves in the base as well, some of their 3D POW boards. So I got to ride a bunch of their 3D boards. So I rode the Double Dog, the 3D. Some of these are on sale, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I did get the chance to ride this board in the past. And yeah, it's got these grooves in it to help the snow kind of like channel the snow into the nose and out of the tail. And yeah, these were some really fun shapes. So this would be something interesting to check out as well. Too bad this is like a drawing and not a photo, but you got some of this. So that's what the tail looks like. So some of the Burton family tree 3D snowboards, definitely worth checking out. I think, yeah, something that I'd consider maybe picking one of these up for a season as like a 3D POW board. Yeah, some of the 3D shapes they're coming out with are pretty cool. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts in the chat about 3D shapes? Yeah, maybe drop a 1 in the chat if you like some of the new 3D technology, and drop a 2 if you think it's overrated and is a gimmick. But yeah, so here's the 2024 Family Tree 3D Deep Days. So instead of white, they've kind of gone with this like gold top sheet, which is, that's pretty cool. And the base is looking pretty similar. I guess they've gone with a different color base now. It's like kind of orange to yellow. But yeah, some really interesting technology there by Burton. All right, and I've also ridden the Burton Process for a season. If you guys are looking kind of for a board that is a bit, park board that's a bit more playful, soft, and it used to be a lot less expensive than this, so now it's $719. I think when I bought it, it was maybe like $499. So yeah, it's definitely gone up in price. But it does come in some wide sizes, which is cool. But yeah, the Burton process, kind of like a softer park board. Camber, you get the flat towards the contact points. Twin snowboard. This is kind of like a good beginner or intermediate park board, the process. Yeah, it's definitely going up in price. All right, let's check out another brand. Or does anybody have any more questions about the Burton snowboards? Grant saying, have you ridden any 3D, Kevin? Yeah, so I've ridden a bunch of those Burton 3D boards. You definitely can feel the benefit of those 3D channels in the base. It gives you like a really smooth ride going through powder. I do have a video on the channel about riding the 3D board, so check that out. And even some of the Jones and Bataleon boards that don't have the channels but just have the like spoon-shaped nose and tails, those definitely make a difference too when you're rocking from like your heels to your toes through powder. It definitely gives you that like smooth ride. We got El Stacker in the chat. Justin Visey is in the chat. What's up, Justin? Vitor says, hey Kev, what is your favorite board for a beginner? Shout out from Brazil. Honestly, one of the best beginner boards I think is something like the Burton process. I mean, I would definitely recommend that to a beginner. It's kind of like that softer, more mellow twin-shaped board. So something that you can do kind of, good first board. And I mean, even though it's a little bit expensive now, it used to be a bit cheaper. But yeah, nothing too fancy going into it, and kind of like a good basic board to get started with. All right, let's check out a different brand. All right, we're at Burton. Let's check out some Bataleons. So Bataleon's got a few cool new boards out. So they've got one board that they have. So I've owned this one, the Bataleon Surfer. Super good in powder, floats really well. I guess the one drawback for me with the Surfer, it was a bit too soft for me. But it does float super well. It's kind of like that good cruising snowboard. So if you want a board that just kind of cruises through like mellow terrain, the Surfer is super fun for that. Through like more challenging terrain, I found it a little bit difficult to ride. But yeah, really good in the more mellow places. I'm kind of interested in I have ridden the Bataleon Evil Twin before. Really fun park board. Definitely, it's a little bit different to get used to the Bataleon with the 3BT. So the 3BT, some of these pictures should show it pretty well. How the nose and tail have this like 3D profile where the contact points are lifted towards the end there, so lifted away from the snow, making it more catch free. So this is really what Bataleon is famous for, this like 3BT technology. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to ride the Evil Twin again. The one, I rode it just for one day in New Zealand, and it was a little bit different to get used to because of those lifted contact points. So it's something you need to get used to, but what makes the strength of the Bataleon boards with the 3BT is they are very smooth edge to edge, and if you're looking to get into like butters or tricks like that, like it does do butter tricks super well. So more catch free, great for butters, and kind of like like an inexpensive Bataleon board would make for a really good beginner board as well. So they also have some of these like new boards with the plus. So this is the Bataleon Disaster Plus. So I'm not exactly sure what the plus does across every board, but I'm sure you get some like better quality materials. But it's kind of neat that they're doing something like that. It's kind of like with Capita and their like Super DOA or the Mega Mercury. Now Bataleon is just adding in like a plus to things. Let's see, I think there's an Evil Twin Plus. Let's see if we can check out that and check out the difference. So the Bataleon Evil Twin, the regular one, let's see, it has, you know, it's a twin, it's got camber, medium stiffness, things like that. Flex rating is a 5. Let's see what the Evil Twin Plus has going for it. Okay, here's the Evil Twin Plus. So this is a board I'd be interested to try out. It even has a 159 wide, so that is pretty cool. Really like the graphic with the black, with the white, and the black base, so really cool style to it. So flex rating on the Evil Twin Plus is a 6 instead of a 5, so a little bit stiffer. True twin. Maybe it says here in the description what makes the plus. Snowboard is so powerful and must have eaten its siblings in the womb, blah, blah, blah. An iconic board. Okay, so maybe it's got a lighter core. It says ultralight core, super fast base, and new outline shape. All right, so I have to do some more research into what makes Bataleon Plus, what gives it the edge. If anyone in the chat knows really what the pluses do in Bataleon, it'd be great to hear. But yeah, some really cool boards by Bataleon. Bataleon Thunderstorm. This one looks pretty cool too. Bataleon Thunderstorm. It's a stiffer board. It's a 6 out of 10, and not a ton, no wide sizes, but yeah, full camber, medium stiffness. So maybe just like a stiffer park board. Bad Rider says, is Kev really looking at an Evil Twin? TJ would be so happy. Absolutely, man. Yeah, TJ's a big fan of that Evil Twin. Bogus Basin. People are talking about Bogus Basin. Luke Hayes is dropping some emojis in the chat. Yeah, just a quick reminder, guys, if you guys want to be part of the bonus chat that we're going to do after this, become a member, hit that join button. It's an awesome way to support the channel. You get some cool bonus perks. So if you guys have like videos of your riding and you want some feedback on it, become a member. You can send me your videos and I'll send you a video giving you feedback on your riding. And there's other perks as well, like the bonus chat. So check that out. Grant saying cannonballed the like button. Awesome. Thank you, Grant. All right, let's get back over to the boards. Okay, after Bataleon, I think was there another board I was really looking forward to checking out? Oh yeah, so Lib Tech. Let's check out some of the Lib Techs. So there's a new board. There's a bunch of new boards out, but Lib Tech has. So I've ridden a few of these. I really do like, obviously, the Orca. So they got the 2024 Orca, and it's got this new graphic. So this is a decently cool graphic for the Orca. So you got the Orca whale swimming towards the mountains with the northern lights. So that's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, the Orca is super fun. I think it's like a great intermediate to advanced POW freeride board, or even like all mountain carver. It's got Lib Tech's magnet traction, so helps you to really lock your edge into the snow, and yeah, just really fun in the powder. Helps you to float. Don't have to get way back on the back foot. I've had the box scratcher in the park before. Yeah, this is a fun. Oh, that's last year's, but that's a fun park board too. But there's a brand new board by Lib Tech I'd like to check out and show you guys. I think it's brand new. So the Lib Tech off ramp. So I actually saw this one at camp quite a bit. A lot of this past summer at Summer Snowboard Camp, there's a ton of campers with the Lib Tech off ramp. So this one is pretty. The graphic is pretty unique. You got this crazy like smile face guy here, kind of gives me some like 90s vibes. It does have a 157 wide, so that's cool. It comes in a wide. A few sizes, not a ton. Pretty reasonable price point at $699. But the off-ramp has C3, so it's a pretty like camber aggressive board for Lib Tech. It does say that it has the mild rocker between the feet, so not very much. But mostly camber, especially like under your feet, some camber zones under your feet. So a pretty camber dominant board. And yeah, so this is kind of an interesting one by Lib Tech. A brand new one, I think it's brand new for 2024, the off-ramp. And so that's kind of one I've got my eye on as well. Although it doesn't, I would prefer it in like a 59. 157 is maybe just slightly too small for me. I kind of prefer longer park boards. But yeah, one I'm kind of looking into. Awesome. Yeah, some other boards that I've tried by Lib Tech. Let's see if I've ridden any of these other ones. But yeah, you got the Lib Tech Skate Banana. That's like one of the original reverse camber boards, or maybe the original. Yeah, what else is on here? Yeah, the Lib Tech T-Rice Pro HP C2. I did ride this one for a bit of a season, and it wasn't really the board for me. Where the camber for like ollies and stuff was in, I felt a bit weird. Was really fun for carving though. Really fun carving board. Because of that magnet traction, the C2 makes it a bit looser. Let's see what the chat is saying. Liam says, what's the benefit of going shorter board? I mean, one of the benefits of shorter is that it's going to be a bit more nimble and maneuverable. So quicker to turn, yeah, more maneuverability, all that kind of stuff. But there's some trade-offs if you go shorter too. You're going to have less stability at high speeds. And so like landing something like a big jump or just having that like balance on your board, you might sacrifice a little bit. But yeah, the benefit of a shorter is that you're going to be a bit more quicker turning, a bit more nimble. But in my opinion, I prefer having the board a bit longer, especially like for like a free ride powder board. That extra length I find really gives you just more stability. All right, we got Clarky watching from the UK, Cambridge. What's up? Thanks for watching all the way from the UK. KM says, how about the Napton Twin though? I mean, yeah, the Napton Twin is awesome. It's an awesome board. I've never ridden it, but Ryan Napton makes it look incredible. Roto Rooster says, I have the Mind Expander, only ride it on POW days, my POW board, and it's a damn cruise missile. Love it. That's awesome, Roto Rooster. Luke Hayes says, the Evil Twin is a great board for the park. Grant Bear, if you're looking for a park board. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Jacob says, just got the Jones Mind Expander, keen as to ride it. Oh, keen as to ride it. What are your thoughts on this board? Love from Australia. Yeah, let's go check it out. Let's go check out some Jones boards and the Mind Expander. Jones. Oh, I gotta unselect Lib Tech. All right, so where's the Mind Expander? Mind Expander 2024. There's the Stratos, Jones Mind Expander. So, I mean, one really cool thing with these Jones boards is, yeah, this the kind of like the artwork, as I guess you can kind of say, or the style of this board is really cool. Just really clean with that black and white. So the Mind Expander is definitely, it's like definitely makes powder riding easier. Floats really well. It's got that larger nose, smaller tail for helping you to float. Don't have to be so much on your back foot. It also has that like spoon-shaped nose, so as you're riding, it really rocks more effortlessly from your toes to heels as you're like rocking through the POW. Also has it in the tail, so yeah, makes that transition through your turns like a bit smoother, having that like 3D spooned nose and tail. So gives you a really clean, smooth ride. I think the Mind Expander is a bit softer than I would like, so it does give you that kind of like playful feeling through the POW, so it's not like a really hard charging board. It's more of like a cruising through POW kind of board. I think some people really like that, especially if you're like not hitting really steep aggressive stuff, but if you're kind of cruising through trees or just on like big open areas where you can kind of cruise pretty mellow through the snow. So it's not like the stiffest board. It does have like it's more of a mid flex or maybe even a bit of a softer flex board. But yeah, a fun cruising powder board for sure. And then it does have some magnet traction too. So like going to give you that good grip on icy conditions or if you're riding some groomers. So yeah, I mean, Mind Expander, I think, yeah, one of the best boards out there for sure. And it's got that width too, like, you know, they don't have a wide version because they're all a bit wider. So you can, you know, you're not going to get any heel or toe drag. One board I'm kind of interested in is checking out the Stratos. So this one looks pretty cool. It kind of has that small notched out like swallowtail, so you guys can see it right there. There's helping the tail just to sink that much more so that you can ride even more effortlessly through the POW. I guess here's like a better picture of the tail. But yeah, this board looks really pretty cool. I really like the style with these lines. The shape of the nose is really awesome. And yeah, it's got the camber underfoot, rocker towards the nose. Having that rocker up towards the nose just allows the nose to float that much easier. And I think it's a little bit stiffer too than the Mind Expander. So having that bit of extra stiffness, I think when you're riding at high speed, just gives you that much more stability. But yeah, I really like the shape of this board. It looks like a really fun one. So not like totally different than my K2 excavator. I mean, a little bit different for sure, but it's kind of similar in a way, especially with this kind of notched out tail there. So yeah, the Jones Stratos, this one looks really fun. And what else do we got here? The Aviator 2.0 looks really fun as well. Where is, yeah, so I've owned this one before, the Jones Ultra Mind Expander. So this one is like, yeah, this is one of my favorite boards of all time. So just like the regular Mind Expander, but just stiffer. So better at handling high speeds, better at steeper, like more technical terrain because of that stiffness. Just giving you a little bit of extra comfort if you're on like some stiff terrain or some steep terrain. Sorry. And then you got the Jones Aviator 2.0. So this is an interesting board as well. It's got some funky stuff happening in the nose for sure. So it's also, yeah, it's got the 3D, it's got a blunted nose, which is really cool. Yeah, pretty camber dominant, so going to give you lots of control. A stiff board as well. Let's see what it says. Directional twin, advanced rider, hitting the resort. It incorporates a featherweight honeycomb choroid material in the nose. Oh, interesting. Superior vibration dampening at high speeds. Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, some really interesting technology going into the Aviator 2.0, and it is only 749 Canadian. That's not like, I thought it was going to be more expensive for some fancy honeycomb material. But yeah, you can see in the nose how it's got that like lightweight section. So that's pretty cool. Lucas, or sorry, let's see, Roto Rooster saying Aviator 2.0 is rad, hard charging board, surprisingly good in POW. Yeah, I'm curious, what is the taper? So the taper on that board. So the tip width is 285, tail width is 285. So there is no taper. Oh, that's interesting. So it's kind of more like an all mountain board. So, oh, that's cool. It's kind of like, kind of gives me some Black Snowboard to Death vibes. Seajal says, I just picked up a Capita Mega Mercury 224, which I'm excited for. Roto Rooster says, I have a lot of days on the Aviator 2.0. Awesome, man. And he says, yeah, it's damp. That Koroyd nose makes it easier to spin too. Oh, interesting. So like kind of like getting some free ride, adding some free ride into it, or freestyle into your free riding. That's awesome. Justin says, what about Arbor, Kevin? Yeah, let's check out some Arbors. All right, let's go back here. Let's go to, oh, it's going to be that. So unselect Jones. Let's go into Arbor. Yeah, so Justin sent me, it's pretty cool. Justin sent me a board. That was super nice of him. And man, if you guys have any boards you want to send me to ride or test, let me know. It's like that's an easy way to get to ride more boards and test more for sure. But where is the board that Justin sent me? All right, it must be on page 2. Where did it go? Where's it going? Oh, here it is. Arbor Annex. The Arbor Annex camber. Is this the exact same one, Justin? I think it's the exact same one. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this board, like for one, it just looks amazing. What a cool like looking board. But yeah, I like the shape of the nose. It does have that like notched out tail as well, helping it to sink a little bit and pow. I'm pretty sure this one has a pretty decent taper to it. Oh yeah, 20 millimeters of taper, so a good amount of taper, 2 centimeters. It says it's an 8 out of 10, so I really like that. So some stiffness, riding at high speed is gonna feel stable. Yeah, pretty camber dominant. So, I mean, that's really camber dominant. So not a lot of rocker towards the nose. So it may be a little bit, you may have to get a little bit into the back seat to keep that nose up because there's no rocker towards the nose. But it should be a really fun one to ride. Yeah, it says right here. So good for all mountain, free ride, and powder. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, super cool board. System camber, rocker type, system camber. If you want a highly responsive ride, crisp on edge performance, one more pop for carving and ollies, all with smoother camber performance. Nice. Yeah, what's another Arbor snowboard? I mean, there's tons on here. Let's go back to the first page. Yeah, there's some like inexpensive, pretty good inexpensive Arbor boards as well. The Arbor Formula, Arbor Foundation. Like, I mean, these ones are in the outlet, but they are very inexpensive. I think the new ones are pretty inexpensive as well. The Arbor Element, pretty inexpensive. Yeah, so some good kind of inexpensive Arbor Draft. These boards used to be even cheaper, but yeah, I've had the chance to ride the Arbor Westmark. Super fun board. It's got Arbor's their Grip Tech technology. So it's kind of like there's in the side cut, there's a bit of like a groove or like a notch that helps to grip the snow a little bit as you ride. The one thing I do have to say about the Westmark is it did feel a bit heavier, like a heavier ride. So that was one thing I noticed, is that the weight of the board was maybe more than a similar board. So, but yeah, this one was fun in the park. It's a twin. I think the Westmark comes in camber or rocker, so you can kind of have the choice. And I think this one is naturally wider. It doesn't have a wide size, but I think it's like a naturally a bit wider of a board. Oh, Justin is blowing up the chat. A little different since the one I sent in 2023. Okay, just a little different. The new Iguchi Pro looks sick. Didn't Kev have a Westmark a few years ago? Yep, I did. And Seajal, yeah, just picked up the Capita Mega Mercury. Awesome, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on, highlight a few of the boards that I've kind of been looking at. So the Burton Blossom, the Capita Aeronaut, and the, what was the third one? Burton Blossom, Capita Aeronaut, and the Bataleon. Well, I don't know if I'm going to go for the Bataleon Evil Twin, but maybe maybe a Bataleon board for butters and for cruising. And even one of those Burton 3D boards is pretty interesting, maybe to try for like have like a 3D POW board. But also the Jones Stratos looks like a super fun POW board as well. But yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. What boards have you guys been checking out? Is there like a brand that's kind of come onto your radar? One board that's not on the Evo website is Karua Snowboards, and the Karua Pencil looks like a pretty fun POW board as well. So yeah, lots of stuff to check out. Lots of different brands and technologies. If you guys think I should make more videos like this, kind of like going through boards in like a category, or I could go through it brand by brand. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this style of video, let me know. Can definitely do some more of these. And yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. In Motion SLB saying, yeah, the rocker, I had the Westmark Frank April version. Yeah, so Yannick had the rocker version of the Westmark. Travis says that he'll take one of each. Awesome. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Bad Riders is saying the ASIM, the Capita ASIM is on his list. Awesome. I'm kind of curious to check out that board. Let's go back to Capita. Let's go back to Capita. And let's go sort by A to Z. Aeronaut, oh, where's the ASIM? Maybe it's not on here. Sorry, Bad Riders, the A simulator is not on here. Bad Rider saying, yeah, more consumer advice vids. Okay. Oh yeah, Rotor Rooster says Never Summer makes some good boards too. Yeah, absolutely. I actually need to get on some more Never Summers. I don't think I've ever ridden a Never Summer board, so I'll have to check that out. Especially if you like rocker dominant shapes. I mean, rocker dominant shapes aren't my favorite, but I'll give them a try. Jacob saying that Solomon Dance Hall. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Awesome, everyone. So I'm going to end the chat there. But yeah, thanks for hopping on here. Stoked to talk to all you guys. If you have any questions about any of these boards, yeah, let me know down in the comments. I'll also put some links to my gear in the description, and maybe a few of the boards mentioned in the description too. So if you guys want to check out those boards, I'll put some links in the description. I'm going to hop over for a bonus chat in the members area. If you guys want to become a member, hit that join button, and awesome way to support the channel. And if you guys haven't yet subscribed to Snowboard Pro Camp, definitely subscribe here. And yeah, thank you guys for hanging out for the chat. Amazing. So yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you guys on here next time. Awesome. See you guys.